It's 6 a.m. and you just hit the snooze button. If you're the type of person who doesn't mind hitting the snooze button, who doesn't mind delaying things, who doesn't mind people texting you out of ordinary, this video may not apply to you. But if you get stressed out by doing things that's not within your core values, then you may want to write down what happens at 6:01 a.m. When you are waking up, hitting the snooze button, you're like at 6:01 a.m., but there's this email I gotta check. There's this text message, we'll go back to sleep. You could be the type of person that just goes to sleep right away and wakes up at 6 again and is not stressed out about it. This video may not apply to you. But if you are stressed out at 6:01 a.m., thinking about a text message, you check your phone, and then you get a response that you don't like. It can be very simple. Let's write this down and try to understand it better. How a simple text message can trigger the neurobiologic stress cascade and make you go fight or flight, oh man, and then reach for things that you don't want to, create these dopamine leaks, and then you can wind up with a heart attack or stroke. Let's try to understand what happens with this text message at 6 a.m. and then we go to 6:01 a.m. You've hit the snooze button, but you really don't want to do that. And let's say you get this text message from, I don't know. Let's say it's Jill or Ramesh. You used to get exclamation points from them or a smiley face. This time, it's just a straight text. Nothing mean, nothing bad, but a response that you were not looking for. Let's say you're the type of person that will check their email right away. Or you're the type of person that may check, let's say, Facebook. You don't have as many likes as you wanted to. You don't have as many comments on your Facebook post that you wanted to. How long did this take to write? Maybe like 40 seconds, whatever the video, okay, fine, 2 minutes. You have taken time to write this down and to understand this. What you've officially done is undergone mind hygiene. But if you don't, and you are the type of person that likes to take these text messages and then blow them up and just think about it, well, then the neurobiologic stress cascade will get activated. And then what happens is that you have signals that go from this to the amygdala. From the amygdala, the sympathetic nervous system is activated, and then the hypothalamus will, both of these signals will go to the adrenal gland. And in the adrenal gland, you're going to get secretions of epinephrine and norepinephrine and cortisol. Now, you've heard of this thing called cortisol, right? Well, first what happens is that you have this text message, you hit the snooze button, you didn't want to do that. Already, you have developed a tiny resentment. And then Jill Ramesh, email, Facebook, didn't do what you wanted to. Now, nothing bad, remember, nobody said a bad word to you. Nobody said that they're gonna destroy your life. Nobody said that they're gonna break up with you. Nobody said that they never wanna see you again. But still, you're tripping about it a little bit. A resentment, implicit bias develops. And then you're thinking about it, you're not writing it. Signals go to, from the amygdala, you have undergone limbic hijack. And with this limbic hijack, your limbic system or the emotional brain takes off, sends these signals, this happens, and then you have the increased, we'll go to a red pen here. You have increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, increased inflammation, may not be able to see that as well. And from here, of course, inflammation, heart rate, blood pressure, to calm the amygdala down, you need the next favorite chemical, which is dopamine. You gotta quiet this down quickly. All right, fine. Let's just text them back. Let's just post something else. Maybe I didn't look good enough there. I'll change my filter the next time. I'm not speaking from hearsay. I'm not speaking from theory. These are things that I've experienced and I had to write down to understand it. And this is what mind hygiene is. And we'll talk about that in the next video, where you write things down, engage the prefrontal cortex, quiet the amygdala, instead of getting hijacked by dopamine. And when you do get hijacked by dopamine, what happens is that you might drink, you might smoke, you might drug, you might gamble, lose money, because you want to quiet this down. Let me text them back. Let me fix this. Let me control this, instead of accepting it and writing it down. This is something for you to understand how simple something can turn into such a big problem, which can lead to that heart attack or stroke over time. You're eating bad, you're drinking too much, you're gaining weight, and then you have a myocardial infarction. What are we trying to do here? We're trying to understand how mind hygiene, which is supported by medical evidence, can help. There was a study that was done, 4,100 patients over a period of 4 years, where they were doing 1 to 90-second reflections like this. Now, this is writing. This is what I call somatic encoding. There is no guesswork here. You can't think about it. You can't talk about it. You can't write to AI about it. A coach, a therapist, a doctor, a medication could help you short term, but this is what could decrease your anxiety by 70%, just by writing down what your awareness is and what could potentially happen from it. This type of writing has taken me at least 11 years of monastic solitude, where I'm living the urban monk life. I'm not emotionally dependent on anybody. In those 11 years, I've had 2 good relationships, 1.5 years each. I've been single for almost 8 years on purpose, and 1 year with no external validation of any kind. That means no Hinge, no Bumble, nothing. To understand what I'm thinking. When people talk about monastic solitude, this is the only thing that helps me survive it and engage in my emotions. And in the next video, we'll talk about the neurobiologic stress cascade. I'll be releasing that in the next week, and how all of these can be quieted temporarily by virtue of writing, where you don't need me or anybody else to guide you. You can do this by yourself. And that's what I'm here to show you as the prototype, that you don't need anybody. You don't want to be stressed out and lead to a heart attack by simple things like this. And these things accumulate over time. At 340, you're mad at the driver. 341, the same thing happens. You want to quiet that you want to quiet that amygdala down, the emotional hijack, by eating something bad. Now let's try to understand how you can write these things down, and I'll talk about that in the next video. Namaste.